Hello, welcome back, or welcome if you are new. My name is Shelby Marybeth. Today's video is going to be an extreme get it all done with me. My husband and I just got back from the most relaxing weekend getaway. My mom, my kids' Nana, had watched them here at our house while him and I were able to just spend some time together on the beach, and it was so relaxing. So this was the first day back from our little mini vacation, and I always feel like I have to play catch up. So I have my to-do list going. I just downloaded this really nice app that I will have linked in the description, but it makes it so easy to organize your to-do list, and I love that you can check things off as you go. I'm a very type A person. I love things that are organized, and checking things off my list really gets me motivated. So I'm starting here by cleaning up the kitchen a little bit. I had already made a super quick trip to our local grocery store called Publix. I'd gotten some produce that we needed from there, so in order to wash it, I need to clean up our kitchen and empty the dishwasher, as well as clean out that sink. That way I have some room to wash and dry all of our produce. So something new in today's video that I really wanted to share with you guys is how I've been making my sourdough bread. I'm a huge fan of hobbies. I think it's a great way to boost our moods and just get us excited about doing something. So for me, that has been sourdough bread. YouTube is obviously another one of my hobbies, but I definitely want to encourage you to try picking up something new and exciting. I know making bread isn't exciting for everybody. It is for me, and it's brought so much joy to my friends and my family because I've been sharing so many loaves with them as well. So I mix up the dough later, but I did what's called feeding my starter first. It's just a mixture of water and flour, and you feed it every single day when it's on your counter, and it's called wild yeast. It actually is full of prebiotics that are fantastic for your gut. Okay, moving back on to cleaning. I'm gonna get all these dishes out of the sink, but first I need to unload this dishwasher full of clean dishes first. I am so OCD when it comes to loading our dishwasher. My husband has a different way of putting everything in, and it was clear as day to me, maybe it is to you guys too that have seen my past videos, that he was the one to load it last. I am grateful though that he loaded the dishwasher and he ran it. All the dishes are completely clean and ready to be put away, but I just think it's so funny how we all seem to have different ways that we load the dishwasher. So I loaded everything that can fit in the dishwasher, and then I just have a few things that I need to hand wash. So before I lay down a nice clean towel, I always like to wipe down all the splatters and spills from loading up the dishwasher that make the counter a little dirty, and I just want to make sure none of that gets on the clean dishes. washing my kids' 2 little turvises now. I feel like I am constantly washing these things as well as my own and my husband's. But I am on the search for one that is dishwasher safe and doesn't have a million parts, doesn't leak. Is that like so hard to find? If you have any recommendations, definitely let me know. I feel like I've had the worst luck with like children's cups. They always say they're leak proof, but they never have been. I'm starting to do a little detail cleaning around our sink. I really wanted to wash off our little soap tray here. This little tray catches so much soap. I also keep our little brushes and everything on here too. I got it from Home Goods and it has worked very well for us. To clean our sink, I usually just use the little Dawn spray. I actually have a DIY Dawn spray. I just reuse the canister a lot, but it's actually just a mixture of water, dish soap, and a splash of rubbing alcohol. And I always just refill it until the canister breaks. I've only had one break so far, and it took like over a year. So I've been able to reuse those bottles for a really long time, and the mixture works really well. Now that I have a nice clean sink, I'm actually going to be washing our produce now. So I wanted to make a little room here and reuse these towels to dry off our produce on. So first, I'm just putting away all of the hand-washed dishes. I have found the best way for storing strawberries, and it keeps them fresh for up to 2 weeks. So I start with a vinegar bath. I'm just rinsing off the strawberries a little bit in the container before putting them into the clean water with a splash of vinegar. It's about a 1/4 cup, but I always just eyeball it. I'm swishing them around, cleaning them off, and then I let them sit there for 2 minutes before bringing them over to dry on a towel. And you want them to be completely dry before you put them into glass containers. So I'll show you the glass containers that I like to use later in today's video, but it's basically glass mason jars, and they have kept my strawberries nice and fresh for up to 2 weeks without getting any mold on them. I know sometimes I will get strawberries from the store, and if I don't do anything with them, within 2 days, they get mold all over them. So I really like to wash them as soon as I get home. It's always so satisfying to see like all that dirt on the bottom of these containers get off these strawberries and go down the drain. I only really have an issue with strawberries going bad, so the rest of our produce I usually just do a nice cold bath. I swish it around nice and gently, and then just let it air dry on our counter before putting it into the refrigerator. I started using a clear bowl so I could see exactly how dirty the water is. The grapes are always super foggy, which is interesting. So this jar of strawberries actually got pushed to the back of our refrigerator and was forgotten about. So these strawberries are about 2 weeks old, and as you can see, they are looking pretty good for being 2-week-old strawberries. I decided to cut them all up and put them in a container so that I can freeze them and use them in some smoothies. Just using one of my freezer-proof Rubbermaid containers. I like that I have this little vent on the side that I can keep up. This one's not that full, so I'm not too worried about it building up any pressure, but once it's frozen, I will put that flap back down and then it'll be completely airtight. My kids just finished their lunches, so I'm cleaning up the table, and then I'm gonna work on my calendar that I am literally a month behind on, but that is what we are doing in this video. We are getting our lives back in order. So I got this little acrylic calendar off of Amazon. I love how streamlined and like pretty it looks on our fridge. It has little magnets so that it sticks, and I'm able to erase everything and start up a new month. This calendar really helps remind me about big events and birthdays and different things that I really need to know when they are. Otherwise, I always forget. I feel like all these days, as soon as my kids were born, just blend together, and a week passes by in a blink of an eye. At this point, my produce was nice and dry, so I'm just taking a couple paper towels, putting it at the bottom of my mason jars. Those will be for the strawberries. Everything else I like to put in these little produce baskets. Let me know if you've tried this yet. I've been sharing it a lot, and a few of you have already told me that you have tried these glass mason jars out and love it, and it works just as well for you. Your strawberries are lasting longer, so I am so happy that I'm able to share this with you guys. I feel like I could spend the entire day cleaning our kitchen. There's always something in here that could get washed or cleaned, but I'm just gonna finish up the kitchen by wiping everything down before moving onto other areas of our home that could definitely use some help. I always make sure to get under everything. Crumbs always get in the most random places on our countertops, and crumbs always attract bugs, and I don't want any bugs in our kitchen. So to wash down our counters, I always use some Miss Meyer's multi-purpose spray. I'm using the lemon scented, and then I use a microfiber towel to wipe everything down, especially in the kitchen. I feel like the microfiber just holds on to all of those crumbs. Any other rag I've used in the kitchen just makes me feel like I'm pushing all those crumbs around. The microfiber really just holds on to everything. So I call this little area our coffee bar, and I love decorating it for each of the seasons. My favorite is obviously Christmas, and I'm already thinking about decorating it for that. I know it is way too early, but anyway, it needed a little refresh. It was getting a little dusty, so I'm just taking the time to take everything off so that I can wipe everything down. I was about to put my tripod here, but I found a missing fork. I feel like when you have toddlers, it's just inevitable to have the most random things all around your house, and I'm always picking them up and putting them where they belong. Our kitchen is nicely put back together, but this is what my children were doing as I was cleaning. I made the mistake of bringing both blocks and magnet tiles out at the same time, so of course it just became a tornado. But it kept them entertained long enough for me to clean up the kitchen, and now I'm just helping them clean it all up. So this is Django. He is a German Shepherd and he is a fantastic dog. He sheds a lot though. So our carpet is always coated in this layer of dog hair. We love him so much so that we are willing to live in his hair. Anyway, that is what I'm vacuuming up here. It's really hard to see how much I'm picking up, but I started with an empty container. So when I empty it, when I'm finished with this area, I will be able to show you guys just how much dog hair was on this carpet. And here is my completely full canister of dog hair, dust, and dirt, whatever was on that carpet. It's so satisfying to get all of that into the trash can. I'm on to cleaning up our dining room area. I like using this table to fold our laundry, so whenever you see me cleaning off this table, then you know the laundry folding is about to commence. Can you tell I've been watching Bridgerton? Anyway, I just started part 2 and it has been so good. I've been really enjoying it, so let me know if you've been watching it. So I'll be doing a few loads of laundry. The first load I'm bringing out here is just the most random load of like towels and a doormat. So I'll be folding all that, putting it away. And then as soon as we got home from our little getaway, everything that was in our suitcase just went straight into the washer. That's one of my favorite things to do after we come home from a trip, is just empty our suitcase. Otherwise, it just ends up sitting there for the longest time, and I always come up with an excuse on just procrastinating, putting it off. So it's like my general rule of thumb now. As soon as we get home, that suitcase gets dumped into the washer. So this one was a pretty small load in comparison to most of the loads that I do, but as soon as I bring any laundry out of the dryer, I fold it right away and put it away. There's no sitting in the laundry basket getting wrinkled or sitting on the table or anywhere else in our house for days on end. I have come to the habit of just folding it as soon as I take it out of the dryer, and then I put it away. It just makes our life flow so much easier. Moving on to our master bedroom, I am obsessed with clean sheets. So I'm going to be changing our sheets super quickly. I'm switching them back to our regular old white, my favorite, sheets. So these ones will go through the wash, and I'm just going to put some white sheets on our bed. Typically, I'll take off the sheets, run them right through the wash, through the dryer, put them right back on our bed. I'm always looking for ways to save time, and that is one of them. I don't have to sit there folding any sheets. Linens that have come straight out of the wash just smell so much better too than a set that's been sitting in the closet for a while. I do want to try line drying our sheets though. I've heard from so many of you that that is the ideal way to dry your sheets. I am probably gonna have to wait until after the summer though, because here in Florida we have started our every single day just pouring rain showers. It has been very swampy and wet outside.
Morning has broken, my windows are open. Wanna feel the wind blow through my hair. Which way do I follow? What happens tomorrow? I turn to you and hope you can guide the way. Sometimes I give up, just wanna be on my own.
I have our sheets back on our bed now, so I'm just taking time to tidy up the rest of our room, put things back where they belong. If I do this often, it doesn't get out of control and I don't get a ton of clutter just everywhere around our room, which just makes it feel so much more peaceful, and I have such an easier time falling asleep.
In times that are changing and when hope is fading, I know I can turn to your embrace, 'cause there's so much beauty under your heaven, and I'm grateful every day. Sometimes I give
I've got our room nice and clean now, so I'm just closing the blinds and turning off the lights. It's going to feel so good to close this door and know that it is nice and clean and ready for us at the end of the day. I'm back to our sourdough starter, and I'm going to be mixing up my dough now. So sourdough just has 3 simple ingredients, and it's water, flour, and salt. It's the process of making it though that has been so much fun for me. I love baking, and sourdough bread has definitely been a challenge, but I love challenges, and I've also just been experimenting with different ways of making the sourdough bread. So you'll have to let me know if you've made sourdough bread before, whether or not you do like baking, or if you have any other hobbies. I would love to hear about them. I am back to cycling laundry, and the load I'm taking out of the dryer now is all the clothes that we brought on our little mini vacation. So I'm going to fold those and put them away. It feels so good to have that taken care of right away instead of having it sit around in a suitcase for who knows how long. Next up, I'm going to be starting a load of towels. Whenever I do towels, I like to add a little bit of a laundry booster. My favorite one is Arm & Hammer. I've been reading a lot about how detergent works in your washer, and if you're trying to get cleaner clothes, you're not going to achieve that by putting more detergent in. You're going to need a laundry booster. From what I've been reading and hearing, less detergent is actually better. Typically, you really only need about 2 tablespoons of detergent. But don't just take my word for that. I will make sure there are some articles or something to read about that in the description. So while I'm folding laundry, I usually like watching a show, or I'll listen to music or podcast. This time around, I am watching a show. I've been rewatching a lot of episodes of Gilmore Girls recently while waiting for Bridgerton Part 2 to come out. As I'm recording the voiceover for this, Bridgerton Part 2 is finally out, so I've been watching that. I'm only on episode 6, but a new show like Bridgerton, I actually like to sit down and enjoy it. When I'm doing something like laundry, I will always rewatch a show I've already seen before. That way I don't miss anything. I don't really get to sit down and watch TV as much as I used to anymore. I'm usually pretty busy with our kids, so when I'm doing something like laundry and watching TV, it just makes it a little bit more enjoyable.
I watch you as you drive. Do you know I'm looking? And I can't help but smile. Do you know how much I love you? You put my favorite song on. I put my feet up, and we just sing along. And I can't help but feeling, just loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? I'm loving this moment. Can we stay here together? If I could stop the time, don't you know that?
Sourdough is something you have to go back and forth from, but I think it makes it that much more fun. I let it sit for about 30 minutes, and then I like to add the salt. So I'm just mixing that in, and now I'm gonna start some dinner. If anything, I just want to be an inspiration or an advocate just for home family meals. I cook for our family every single night and we all sit around the table. I grew up that way. My husband grew up that way. There are so many benefits when you eat together as a family at the end of the day. I don't always have the motivation to make meals at the end of the day. I'm exhausted. I've been taking care of the kids all day. I've been cleaning, but I go back to just knowing that making these meals for my family, it's feeding them. It's a way I can be a blessing to our family. It's a way I can serve, and it just, in the end, it makes me happy knowing that I am bringing our family closer together. So this is a lemon garlic butter steak and broccoli skillet, and it is delicious. So I've been wanting to share some of these recipes with you guys. My husband recently asked me to start making some lower carb dinner meals, so I've been trying so many. Literally, like, I've been making a new recipe every single night so that we can get a good base of new meals that are better for our bodies. So I really just want to share the recipes that we are just absolutely obsessed with, and the recipes that don't make me miss that we are not eating our regular super carb meals. And this lemon garlic butter broccoli steak skillet is definitely one of those. It is so good. I'm going to make sure the recipe for it is linked in the description. So I'm not really going through the detailed steps. I'm filming a lot of it for you guys here, but I will make sure that recipe is linked below and you can reference that if you would like to make it. You're welcome, Susie. So between cooking, I was actually doing a few coil folds to the sourdough bread. I didn't kind of put it in between because I felt like I was jumping back and forth too much, but that is what a coil fold looks like. It's the end of the night now, so I'm getting my bread ready to put into the fridge. So I'm just doing its final shaping, getting it into a nice tight bowl, and then it'll sit in the refrigerator all night until the morning, and of course I'm going to bake it and share it with you guys in a little bit. But I'll just take a second now to thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, don't forget to hit that thumbs up for me. I appreciate every single one of those little clicks. I also hope you comment down below so I can know that you're watching. I always read and reply to every single comment. If you're new, I hope you consider subscribing. I make a new video every single Sunday. I will also make sure last week's video is linked at the end of this one, just in case you missed it. It was a 2 full days of whole house cleaning motivation. I got so much done to motivate you guys. I got a notification from YouTube telling me that it was my #1 video in the last 10 that I've posted, so I know you guys really enjoyed it, so I will make sure that is linked at the end of today's video. About halfway through baking, I take off the lid on the sourdough bread, and I hope it never gets old because this is the first peek I get of it when it's baking, and it just makes me so excited. But here is our final bowl. I really hope you guys enjoyed watching me bake it. If you want the recipe, definitely comment down below and I will be happy to share it with you guys. Or if you want a more detailed video, let me know if you'd be interested in that too. But here is last week's video, just in case you missed it. YouTube sent me that notification saying it was my #1 in the past 10 videos that I've posted, so I know you guys really enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week in a brand new video. Bye!